Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and I love three things: jokes, saying jokes, and hearing other people say jokes. Which is why I couldn't believe my luck when the BBC asked me to present 6 shows all about some of my favourite comedians saying funny things. In this show, I'll be playing you clips of some great stand-ups, and at the same time, I'll be giving you some top tips for those of you out there who are thinking, that sounds like fun, I might like to give that a go myself. That might seem a little unlikely. I mean, who in their right mind would give up a perfectly decent job to try their luck as an unknown comedian, travelling up and down the country for no money in a crazy attempt to make it in showbiz? Well, plenty of people have done exactly that, and some of them have even managed to make a sort of career out of it. And I should know, I'm one of them. I have to admit, though, stand-up is a weird way to make a living. Marty Feldman once said that he believed comedy was an unnatural act. Turns out my girlfriend has a lot in common with Marty Feldman. And not just her looks. So, if we're talking stand-ups, we might as well start with the total master of the art. It's Mr. Eddie Izzard.
When you're a kid, bees and wasps are out to get you, so you run from bees and wasps. Run from bees and wasps. And they're always just behind your head, aren't they? Just behind. Bees and wasps, just behind my head. And your dad, who's working with the bees and wasps, suddenly comes in and says, "Stand still!" And the wasps go, "Thanks, Dad." Pow! But later on you realise bees aren't so bad. Because, first of all, they only sting you once, and they only sting you as a last resort. And also they make honey, and that is an amazing thing. Bees make honey. We've known this since we were kids, so we all take it absolutely for granted. But bees are insecty, furry body, hairy, leggy, big ears, big eyes, big ears as well. They leave them behind when they go out. Got out of that one. Medium-sized wings. You know, they're buzzy things. And they make honey, which is in your morning, on your breakfasty, toasty, in a jar kind of thing. How did they do that? I mean, do earwigs make chutney? Do spiders make gravy? What's going on? Earwigs going, "Get the chutney under that stone there. And make chutney all day. Making chutney." Takes me back to swimming. I swam widths and lengths. More of a widths person myself. There used to be that swimming. Right, we're all going swimming. All you kids who can swim, off you go, and look very lean and fit and cut through the water like things that cut through water. All you crap kids, here's a bit of polystyrene. Go and humiliate yourselves in the shallow end. You've got this float thing, white battered polystyrene. You have to get in the shallow end and do widths across. Oh, it was terrible. It was an Aqua Zimmer frame, it was.
Why have they got that no bombing sign in swimming pools? That'd make a lot more sense at the airport. I remember doing swimming at school. There was one girl that was so big, she'd have done a width just by getting in. Lots of people think they can be a stand-up comedian, and when it comes to telling jokes, the difference between an amateur and a professional can seem very slight. But the fact is there's a huge gulf between the amateur joke teller and the professional comedian. And what separates them is the masochistic compulsion that all successful comedians share to make people laugh. It's a pure, naked need, a need for love, popularity, approval, and laughter. And one comic who has more naked needs than most is Alan Carr. Like all great comedians, he makes what he does look easy. In fact, if you didn't know he was standing on stage in front of a huge audience, you could be forgiven for imagining he just invited some friends round for a cup of tea and a chat.
That's the reason why I'm bloody single, because of all this technology. It's like the supermarket, pack and scan. You can't even chat up the checkout people anymore, can you? You can't even like arrange the fruit and veg in a seductive manner, can you? Because there's no one there. You want to come to Manchester, though, with this pack and scan. I was behind a woman putting a widescreen telly through as button mushrooms. £1.50, marvellous. I tell you another bit of technology I hate. That internet. I Google whacked my name, put my name in, you had to. I'm on a website, 20 celebrities I'd like to punch.com. J-Lo, Madonna, Tom Cruise, and then me. I'm the only one who can't afford a bodyguard. And I can't fight. Have you seen me fight? It's a cross between Riverdance and a doggy paddle. I'm like, yeah.
Those pack and scan machines are putting so many checkout girls out of work. It's a real shame. Soon, Girls Aloud won't have jobs to go back to. They can automate the checkout, but they'll always need a real person to collect the trolleys. So don't worry, Steve Brookstein, your job is safe. Of course, the great thing about being a stand-up, and the terrible thing, is that if you have an addiction for approval, then standing up on stage is pretty much an instant hit. When it works. Even though some laughs are bigger than others, it's a simple binary system for comedians. Laugh, no laugh. Sort of laugh does not compute. Live comedy audiences are ruthless and insatiable, like Natasha Kaplinsky after 2 rum and cokes. If they smell fear, you're done for. And you're only as good as your last joke. Not your last show, your last joke. It sounds brutal, and it is. That's why the language of comedy is full of violence. He killed last night when it goes well. He died on stage when it doesn't. Yes, it's a tough business. Although you wouldn't know it when you listen to Bill Bailey.
One thing that confuses me is who photographs kebabs? I mean, who does that? I was in a kebab shop the other day and I'm looking up and going, somebody's taken these. I tell you what, some of them are pretty bloody good as well. Look at that one there. That's a belter, isn't it? I mean, is that some guy that, you know, he had illusions of being a great photographer, you know, like a great fashion photographer, a wartime correspondent, and gradually the work didn't come in, he needed the bills paying, and some bloke in the pub said to him, look, I'll tell you what, mate, you can make a few quid on the old, you know, snack photo circuit, I'll tell you. You know, and you meet this guy in a pub, you know, and you talk to him and say, what do you do, mate? Oh, I'm a photographer, you know. Oh, yeah? What sort of things do you do? Freelance. Oh, I work a lot freelance, you know. After about 6 or 7 pints, he's going, yeah, I do your basic doner, shish, kofta, pie chips, saveloy chips, passion chips, cheeseburger, hamburger, cheeseburger, chips. Oh, life has gone right there, that's all I feel like. Terrible state, oh God. You imagine him in a little attic somewhere with a kebab on a little cushion like that and a photographer, yeah, go on mate, lovely, go on you little minx, come on, you know you want it, go on then. Give me more, you little devil, go on there, you saucy little minx, come on then. Here's salad, oh you love it, you know, like that. He's got loads of magazines everywhere, amateur food photographer, you know, like that, and at the back of me, readers' dinners, you know, like that. Loads of out-of-focus kebabs on cheap MFI furniture, you know, like that.
Bill Bailey has found something different and funny to say about doner kebabs, something we all see every day. Well, not every day, not unless you're Kerry Katona. So, you still want to be a comedian? I haven't managed to put you off yet. Well, let me try just a little bit harder. You think you'd be a great stand-up because your mates tell you you're hilarious? That's got to count for something, right? Wrong. Being funny with your mates is not just about what you say. It's also about who you are and your relationship together. On stage, there's no context. No one knows anything about you. No one's interested in anything about you, except whether you can make them laugh or not. So don't think, just because you're the office joker, you'll kill on stage. There's a special name for the person at work who's always ready with a smart remark or a prank. We call them knobheads. So, what's the point of becoming a comedian? Well, it's estimated that American stand-up Jerry Seinfeld is worth $800 million. $800 million. And he got all that just by standing up on stage and saying funny stuff. Stuff like this.
I like staying in hotels. I enjoy hotels. I like tiny soap. I pretend that it's normal soap and my muscles are huge. You can always tell when you're in a fine quality luxury hotel when the TV's bolted to a solid steel beam and welded into the wall. I don't like staying at people's houses on the road. Don't like other people's showers. I can never adjust the temperature right. I don't know the ratios on the dials. You know, sometimes a 1/16 of an inch is 1,000 degrees. Got to get out of the way of the water. There's always that little hair stuck on the wall of somebody else's shower. And you want to get rid of it, but you don't want to touch it. I don't know how it got up that high in the first place. Maybe it's got a life of its own. I don't want to get involved. So you got to aim the shower head at the hair. That never works. You got to get a pool of water from under the shower and over to the hair. You get it down a foot at a time like this. The hair is hanging on. But we have to fight these battles. We're all alone in the bathroom.
Whatever goes wrong, you have to handle it. You ever go to a big party, go in the bathroom, flush the toilet, and the water starts coming up? This is the most frightening moment in the life of a human being, right here. You will do anything to stop this. You'll lose your mind, start talking to the toilet. No, please don't do this to me. Come on. You know this is not my fault. I'll get you the blue thing, the man in the boat. Just let me off the hook this one time.
Of course, even Jerry Seinfeld had to start somewhere, and he, like every aspiring stand-up, was lucky. Why? Because one of the great things about stand-up comedy is that it's the one area of show business that has an entry-level platform which is open to everyone, regardless of background, wealth, contacts, or ability. In fact, it's so open, it's called an open spot. Most comedy clubs have an open night or an open spot, where just about anyone can get up in front of the audience and try and make them laugh. No other branch of show business allows you onto the first rung of the ladder with such ease. So if you really, really want to give stand-up a go, there's literally nothing stopping you. It's easier than getting into Lembic Opic's diary. Here's another great stand-up, Robert Schimmel. His pacing is incredible. Listen to how he rides the laughter and drip feeds the material.
I have a friend that scuba dives. He says, you know what you're supposed to do if a shark's bothering you? Bothering? It's not like they're going, hey, you got 50 cents? He said you punch him in the face. Yeah, and then when that doesn't work, you poke him in the eye with your stump. Punch a shark? What if he wasn't even going to attack you? What if he's just curious and he's swimming by and you go, what'd you do that for? I thought you were going to attack me. Yeah, I'm going to now. I was going to let you go, but the other sharks are watching. It doesn't look good now.
What's the name of that famous film from the 80s about the greedy shark? Oh yes, Wall Street. Top tip if you're scared of sharks, don't go to Australia. And that tip also works if you're not scared of sharks. Doing your first open spot can be a terrifying experience. It's like having sex for the first time. Only this time you want people to laugh at you. And why not take some friends along for moral support? It's like going to an audition on The X Factor, only instead of Simon Cowell sitting there afterwards telling you how crap you were, there'll be your mates telling you you were brilliant, even though you probably died on your ass. One thing that seems to terrify most would-be stand-ups is hecklers. But don't be scared. Just remember, you have the microphone and they don't. That immediately gives you the authority and the volume advantage. If you can't think of anything funny to say as a put-down, you could always just drown them out. My favourite heckle was during a very difficult gig. Everything fell silent when a joke fell flat. And someone whispered to their friend in the back of the room, "There used to be a pool table in here." Devastating, damning, and almost impossible to come back from. I never allowed my mother to come to another show. After a while, you grow to love hecklers. If you're doing the same 20 minutes of material, night in, night out, for weeks on end, it's great when someone comes along and breaks things up a little bit. My favourite bit of my own show is at the end, when I ask if there are any questions from the audience. It's really just an invitation for people to join in, have a bit of a heckle, enjoy themselves. Here's another excellent American stand-up, Mitch Hedberg. On the plus side, his dependency on drink and drugs helped fuel the surreal flights of fancy that you're about to enjoy. On the other hand, they killed him in 2005. So it's swings and roundabouts, I suppose.
I was at a convenience store and a guy with a quart of milk came up to me and said, "Hey, do you know what the score is?" "I don't know. What's the game?" "If it's a contest between me and you, and the object is to ask the other guy questions he doesn't give a shit about, then you're ahead 1-0. I play tennis, so I like tennis. Tennis is a good game. The thing that's depressing about tennis is no matter how good I get, I'll never be as